to bring out your geek with surprise appearances by Kelly's cat.
The angry kitty version.
Java is displeased.
And the
As he
whole
should
world
be.
shall know.
Today we are talking our top horror movies. Everybody picked 3. Some of us picked 4.
Honorable mention! Honorable mention!
Just hope the cat doesn't have one.
He's gonna have one.
Whether he likes it or not. Okay, I'm gonna start with Mel. Thanks for joining us, Melly. I'm so glad you could be here.
Thank you. I'm glad I could make it since I missed the last one.
Let's start with same thing we did last time. We'll do the bottom of the list first, and then your most favorite last. So we'll start with our number 3 picks. Mel, please.
Okay, my number 3 is a Japanese movie called Battle Royale. By Kenji. It was directed by Kenji Fukasaku, and it's a story about a bunch of junior high students who act badly. And Japan has enacted this Battle Royale Act, and basically every year a class of bad students get thrown into a battlefield armed with electric collars that will blow them up periodically if they're in the wrong place, and they must battle to the death until only one remains, and that's the only one that gets to leave.
Wow.
A little bit like Japanese Hunger Games.
Yeah. This came out in 2000, and it is based on a book. It was very controversial at the time, but I love it. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, you really should.
Yeah.
I will have to find that somewhere. That sounds fun.
It is
That
fun.
sounds great.
All right, let's go with Kelly.
Is that in your Netflix queue, Mel? Well, before you watch.
You
The
know,
biggest
I
Netflix queue ever.
think it might be on Netflix, but I have the box set.
Schnazzy.
So this was hard because I got
Good
my
stuff.
list done, and then I flipped the order completely, and I said, yeah, that seems right. And then I put it back the original way. I said, yeah, that's right. So it's really hard to put these in order, and some of these may not seem overly creative because they are classics, but the task was to name your top 3 favorites. So I'm going to go with number 3, Night of the Living Dead. Because
Nice.
just solid, low budget, fun, and the prototype for the zombies we've all become to know and love. So
That's an excellent choice, sir.
Good choice.
Yep. Yeah, you can't go too far wrong with that.
All right, Bronwyn.
My number 3 spot, and I agonized over the list a little bit as well, but this one, I kept coming back to it, and I had to put it on here, and it's actually reminded me of you, Jeans. Because it's the House on Haunted Hill, but the 1959 version, and I know how you love an old black and white movie. So
I've seen that. Yes.
I love this movie from beginning to end. I'm not even sure exactly why. Like, I liked the 1999 remake as well. It was pretty okay, but it didn't have the same kind of creep factor that the original had. There was just something compelling about the main female character and the way she acted that role and sort of the innocence she brought to it. And I don't know, I just that movie gave me chills. Like, I watched The House on Haunted Hill and I couldn't sleep for days. And I'm not typically afraid of haunted houses or ghosts, or I never really understand why everyone just sort of assumes that ghosts will be malevolent. You know, I'm kind of like, most people in life are pretty chill. I feel most people in death probably going to be just as chill. So
kind of a big moment. I mean, the whole dying part might give you an
It's a little
attitude.
traumatic.
In all fairness, nobody gets out alive. It's not like we don't all know this going in.
So far.
So far.
Kelly's angling to be that one, the outlier.
All right, I'm gonna go with an older one as my number 3 as well, which is Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Nice.
There's a lot of reasons that I love this movie, one of which is because I saw it as a kid. They made a huge deal out of it because they were going to do it in 3D, so we all had to go to 7-Eleven and get 3D glasses and watch it. They had special time arranged for it and everything. It was awesome. So we all sat there with our 3D glasses, which didn't do a whole lot. And there was like only certain parts, like when the fish are swimming and stuff. It wasn't through the whole thing because they kept telling everybody, "You're gonna ruin your eyes." So like, don't wear them the whole time. So but I love the creature. I love the fact that that's a guy in a suit, and he was probably super uncomfortable the whole time. And it's a lot of fun, and I think one of the things that cracks me up about it the most is the fact that when he's in the water, he's like super quick and agile, and then when he's on land, he's like slumbering. He's like, and his rubber feet go like whomp, whomp, and you'd never know he was there until someone screams, despite the amount of noise that he makes.
I could never keep the name of that one straight in my head when I was younger, so I always called it the creature from the Blue Lagoon, which is a very different thing.
That would be a horrible movie.
Position.
That would have improved that movie. What are you talking about?
That's always what I thought, Mel.
Look.
Oh,
Can
awesome.
you see my little friend?
That's amazing. Oh, I love it.
I love him. And there's a famous picture of him behind the scenes where he's got the heroin in his arms, and he's actually like
It's what gill men do. You know, it's kind of their thing. But actually, interestingly enough on that, two separate actors were in that suit, because there was one actor that played Gilman on land, the lumbering version, one that played the darty swimming version.
Nice.
excellent.
Kelly seems to know a lot about this movie. Maybe we're going to hear it again later.
We might.
Maybe Turnabout's Fair Play on that list of scenes.
All right, Mel, let's go with your number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is a pretty recent movie. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's Cabin in the Woods. It shouldn't be surprising to anybody in the world that I adore this movie. Directed by Drew Goddard, written by none other than Drew Goddard and the Joss Whedon. So, zombie redneck torture family. Okay, do you really have to say anything else? Zombie redneck torture family.
Maybe the merman.
The mermans were awesome. I loved the unicorn, which incidentally they cut out of the TV version that they showed. I had all these people hyped up to see the awesome unicorn, and then they cut it from the TV version. It was terrible.
The nerve.
Cabin in the Woods is a story of a bunch of college kids who end up. I don't want to get. Are we giving the endings away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody dies.
Shocking. Well, actually, yes, sort of. Everybody does die. So they're being manipulated into choosing their own ritualistic deaths in order to, in very Joss Whedon fashion, save the world from the rise of the old ones. And in the end, Sigourney Weaver shows up, which was totally the icing on the cake for this movie for me. So, Cabin in the Woods, totally awesome. One of the best movies ever. And I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. I dig it. Okay. Kelly, number 2.
Number 2 for me is Halloween.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Again, classic. And I think of the run away. Why aren't you leaving? You've killed him. Or maybe you haven't, but why are you still staying by the dead body of the killer? Had the greatest moment of that when you got him in the background, kind of popping, sitting back up. The guy that wouldn't die.
We are talking the original, right? Not the Rob Zombie.
Not the Rob Zombie. Although
that needs to be burned.
Yeah. This is there's a certain charm to Rob Zombie remakes and movies, but for top 3, the classic.
Okay, thank you.
And Donald Pleasance is in it, so what can you do?
Very good.
Excellent. Bronwyn, number 2.
Well, and this is why I have honorable mentions, because, damn it, Mel, that was my number 2.
Well, hopefully we don't have the same number 1.
Yeah, right,
2.
probably. Great minds think alike.
At least
So
you
I'm
didn't
gonna
take your
slip
number
my-
1, Bronwyn.
I'm going to slip my honorable mention right in there. And I'm going to go with The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, no.
Because I'm sorry, but oh, Jeans, I apologize. But this movie is amazing, and I love it. And honestly, I can still, on those nights when insomnia gets me and I'm just in my room and I can't quite sleep and I'm just reading a book or chilling out, and I decide I'm going to close my book and I'm going to try to sleep, and the moonlight's coming in through my skylight and the creak of the oak tree over my house, and all I can hear is Hannibal Lecter saying, "I'm having an old friend for dinner." I love it. Or it puts the lotion on its skin, or it gets the pose again.
Oh.
And the dancing.
Oh, God. So, I mean, I know it's not sort of classic in the 1959 sense, but this, to me,
That's good.
you know, in that, without being like a big slasher, lots of blood everywhere kind of movie, this was one of the most truly terrifying movies I've ever watched.
It's very
Just got me going.
And then Wild Bill later played Monk's detective boss in the show Monk, and it just that's a range. That's a range
Yep.
for you.
But it was never okay.
No.
I could not quite
I
wrap my
can't-
head around that.
Every time I see him, I picture him dancing with like the boa and, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
He
Yeah.
also plays a cop in The Bridge.
Oh.
So
And Fast and Furious, the first one.
didn't see any of them, I'm proud to say.
They're like police movies now. There's just going to be like 20 of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Police Academy, you know, there's like
Yeah.
Police Academy 40. It's going to be the same thing with Fast and Furious, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, I won't see any of them.
So my number 2, I think Mel knows what this one is. It is, I think, the only reason it's not my number 1 is because the number one still affects me to this day. It really scared me. But this is pretty awesome. It's Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yes. I'm saving that one for another genre.
Yeah.
Yes. I really had to struggle between it and Cabin in the Woods, honestly.
I love Alan Tudyk so much in everything he does, even when you can't see him and you can just hear his voice, because he does animated movies too. I just love him, and it was both gratuitous grossness and absolutely disgusting and hilarious at the same time, and so many quotable bits, and just such a great movie.
Agree.
All right.
Definitely.
Drum roll for Mel here. Number 1, please.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anyone in the world who knows me even slightly. Possibly my number 1 movie ever made. And I'm going to put it in the horror genre. Aliens by James
Oh,
Cameron.
thank God, I was hoping somebody would put this on their list.
Oh, you want to talk about quotable movies? There's probably not a day that goes by that I don't do a quote from Aliens. And if anybody follows me on Twitter, I'm throwing out Nuke the Site from orbit all the time because it's just so true. So,
It
one of
works
the great
in so many contexts.
ever. Yeah, it's suspenseful. It's funny. Bill Paxton did an incredible job as Hudson. Again, Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, and Lance Henriksen, who's everywhere, and he's awesome. So, Aliens, that's all you can say. It's awesome. Nuke the Site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
It's true.
Game
True
over.
words are so rarely spoken.
I use it every day.
I love that. Thank God you don't have your finger on a red button, though.
If I ever get control of the button, it's all over.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think we should discourage that. I think
Keep all buttons from Mel.
no
It's the
needs
only
to
way to
remain
be
red
sure.
button free.
They gave me one of those big Staples red buttons on my desk at work, so I could push it
Nice.
when I needed to.
That was easy.
Yeah.
How long before it broke?
The first day.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to hit it with your stapler.
But it's from Staples.
Right, but I need more. Then I need to order more staplers so I can get a new button.
Mhm.
It works out.
There you go.
All right, Kelly.
Well, as previously mentioned, this is
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Not me. Okay.
I don't know it was you. Because creature from the Black Lagoon.
Nice.
So when you got your 3D glasses,
Mhm.
Jeans, were they red and blue, or were they
Yes.
the polarized lens? Okay.
No. This was when I was a kid. So these were the cardboard ones with the one red, one blue.
So
I
it's
never could make those work.
Yeah, the original release of Creature. So Creature from the Black Lagoon was a 3D release from the inception. It came out at the tail end of the first 3D craze, and it was actually, as a black and white movie, they did use the gray polarized lenses for the 3D effect on the original release. And then when they brought it back to kind of revive it, they went with the blue and the green. So there's versions there.
Awesome.
And then there were also, for the smaller towns, the flat version of Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is
Yeah.
what I probably saw on the late night shows, obviously, from there. But Gene's nailed it earlier. It's just the for the time, that is really some pretty amazing. That's an amazing costume
Mhm.
because it doesn't look fake. It's
Right.
a really intimidating creature, and you feel sad for him at the end as he sinks to the bottom of the lagoon. So,
Yes, but then you get revenge of the creature from the Black Lagoon.
That is true.
that's true.
Kelly and I have talked about this. I have the box set. I just watched that the other day.
I'm sensing a theme. There's box set and Netflix queue.
Absolutely. Story of my life.
I like it.
She sets up a physical queue of the box sets.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very cool. Excellent. But and Gene said on something. So I think it's a great movie.
Yes.
Me too.
And I really think that little character would definitely have improved Blue Lagoon. I mean, just saying.
Absolutely.
As he steals Brooke Shields, yeah, that'd be.
Right?
Yeah.
Takes her out to the
You thought this was going in one
Strange.
direction, and it took a left at Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Bronwyn.
So my number one, and I actually am a little shocked that it hasn't been said yet, but again, sort of going a little bit classic, is The Shining. Because
Ooh.
Jack Nicholson and Scary Twins and,
Yes.
and the tricycle and oh god.
And the blood elevators and yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, so speaking of movies that still get me to this day,
First-
I
Go ahead.
take a lot of stairs. I do. I take a lot of stairs. I don't like elevators so much.
First time I saw that, it was at a birthday party, and we were like in grammar school, and
What kind of birthday parties do you go to?
I don't know whose idea
best
was,
kind.
but I had to sleep next to the bathroom door, and I just sat there like staring at it the whole time, like waiting for Jack Nicholson to like put an axe through it. I got no sleep at all. It was bad.
No, that's definitely a no sleep afterwards movie.
No.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
No. No.
And just his eyes, just that look. Like, I mean, he does crazy eyes like nobody's business. He doesn't
Yes,
have
he
to make
does.
good sound, and it's just, oh god.
And the standard life lesson, do not return the affections of naked women who randomly show up in your bathroom. you should politely send them on their way.
Ugh.
Yeah. Mm.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope. That's a good lesson.
That is an excellent lesson. Yeah. There's so many to be learned from that movie.
It's true.
That movie gives me the jeebs. Okay, so mine, my number one is number one because I still cannot swim in open bodies of water without thinking about Jaws.
Excellent. Excellent choice. Top notch.
When I was a kid, when the sun, we went to the pool like every day in the summer, and when the sun would start to set and you couldn't see like into the water anymore because it was all golden and gleamy and pretty, I wouldn't go in because it was water.
The pool.
And
In a pool. Yeah.
Any
Yes.
tributaries going into that pool, Jeans, or was that a self-contained pool?
I have a picture that I will tweet at you of a giant white shark in a pool. And you will see.
It was like Ghost Shark, okay? It was the precursor to Ghost Shark.
There
It
you
could
go.
travel through.
And I'm just saying, but after Sharknado, those suckers are everywhere.
Oh, Sharknado. Hmm.
But I mean, and you couldn't go in a pool without somebody pulling that whole like,
Yeah.
something's got me.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, which didn't help.
No.
Not helpful.
No, it's true because like I was born on the ocean. I grew up swimming in the ocean. It never bothered me. Never bothered me. Never bothered me. I saw Jaws relatively and comparatively later in life, and then I didn't really. It was a great movie. It was sort of scary, but it wasn't one of those where I was like, oh yeah, now I'm terribly afraid of sharks. Until the next time I went to the ocean.
Because that's where the sharks are.
And all of a sudden, I was just like, I'm like, I love swimming. Well, I don't know if I can do this. Oh, apparently there was a lasting impression. Did not see that coming. Yeah.
I had someone tell me once that shark movies were not scary, and I blocked them. I can't even talk to you. You need to just go away.
That's a blockable offense.
We're done. There's nothing for us to talk about.
So out of character for a disproportionate response, Jeans. I'm sorry. That's something. That's really something. But
I've only blocked 5 people on Twitter, and that was one of them.
Oh, I block a lot of bots.
Mm.
Every time I get a random tweet that says, "That's all that matters, Bronwyn," at Shiny Baby B, I'm like, I don't, no, block.
So is there still an honorable mention? Is there anything else we want to mention?
No, I actually got to use up my honorable mention by adjusting my list.
Excellent.
I came prepared.
Yeah, I had one backup, so we're good.
I like it.
All right.
Yay!
Excellent.
So
movie.
what's next on the docket?
I want to do movies about thievery.
Movies about thievery. Okay.
Where people steal stuff.
Thanks, Jeans.
I know it's a big word, but
I appreciate that.
well,
I still think we need to do a Tom Waits, Alice Cooper mashup movies.
I'm not sure that's going to be in Mel's wheelhouse.
Yeah, we briefly talked about that, and I've got one movie.
Yeah, they're all in her queue.
But she's got
No,
a
I've
really
actually
good
seen
movie.
this one. I've actually seen this one.
Oh, yay!
Great movie. We should talk about sometime.
See?
All right. So it's actually the next one that I wanted to do was either thievery, which for Kelly, stealing things, or
And movie is like long form recorded stuff, right?
yeah,
Okay.
usually, or Christopher Walken movies. So I'll let you guys pick quickly. We're still recording.
Well, you sound pretty fired up about thievery.
Yeah, let's start with thievery.
And, a happy jeans makes for happy not jeans people, so I say we go thievery.
Thievery works.
And we have the quote of the day.
And on that note, thanks for joining us, everybody. We will catch you on the next episode of this with movies about thievery, stealing stuff.